As you will recall, my first snowblowing experience was not great. I had a real problem with traction on the OEM tires with chains and wheel weights. So I found a couple of these tires. They're the same 8x8x20 that are on the lawnmower to begin with, and I'm going to replace these with these. I had never removed a tire from a rim before, so I wasn't sure how hard it was going to be. So from someone who's never done it before, I've done it once now. I'm going to show you how I did it. Having a valve stem core removal would be helpful. I can't find mine, but I think I can make one with this cotter pin. The air out. You don't want to tack this bead and try to break the seal. Yeah, it's sort of glued in place. All right. Okay, that's off. You might be able to dig this inner tube out of here just so you're not fighting with it. Yeah. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. You're going to need, because you're going to want to mount this anyways, you're going to need these tools. These are for my motorcycle, and they work great. I'm sure there's longer ones for tires like this. This tire is a little harder than my motorcycle, but these are just tire pry bars, and these will let you work it under. And you got 3 of them, so you can work your way. This one's going way better. Around. These are some mean looking golf cart tires that I found that are roughly the same size as the stock tires. It's worth taking a moment to talk a little bit about tire sizes, because these are different than like a car tire, which is a strange mix of inches and millimeters on it. These are all in standard inches. So we've got 20 inches. That's supposed to be the diameter when it's inflated. It's only like 19 or less when it's uninflated. The second number here, 8.0, is the width of the tire. Okay, so that again, I guess when it's inflated, that's the widest part, it's 8. And there's a hyphen, and then this last number, 8 inches. That's probably your most important number. That's what size wheel this will fit on. And 8 is actually the measure, it's going to fall off here, but the measure of this hole right here. It's important to note that your wheel diameter from the outer part is not what the measurement is. You can see this one is 9 1/8. When actually this wheel that I'm going to put this on is an 8-inch wheel. I think we're measuring from the inner ring here, so keep that in mind. They didn't have the exact same size tire, and you can see these are a little narrower and a little smaller. So these have an outer diameter of 19 and then a width of 7, but it's still that opening which is most important, that 8. So the 7, now I don't really know. What do I know? I've never done this before, but since I'm running with an inner tube, I think that even though I have a wheel that was had an 8-inch wide tire on it, and this is 7, it shouldn't matter. It'll bring this edge out. Same, I think you could technically mount, I don't know, a 9 or a 10-inch wide tire onto an 8-inch rim. But I don't know. Let's give it a shot. All right, got it on. And since I've done it exactly once in my life, now I feel qualified to teach all of you how it's supposed to be done. Totally. All right, step 1. This wheel isn't as bad as the other one was, but there's a little bit of rust in here. I'm just going to take a wire brush on a drill and just clean this wheel up so that you don't have any pointy, sharp parts that are going to puncture the inner tube. All right, got that cleaned and polished and smooth. Now, the first step is to just sort of stuff it in here. And I'm going to probably edit this to make it look easier than it is, but just know that it's totally doable. Alright, that's one side. Just simple piece of cake. Oh. All right, that was easy. Now let's put the inner tube in. I should say that I went with these narrower 7-inch tires for my 8-inch rims because the next size up was like 10 and they were pretty wide. And if you know anything about snow tires, you know that you want a narrower profile rather than wide tire that's going to float on the snow. You want to sink down into the snow, get as many pounds per square inch on these treads. That'll give you the best traction. So that's why I went with these narrower ones. These inner tubes are kind of nice in that they have a locking nut on it, which will hold the valve in place so it doesn't turn, and it also won't sink in there when you try to pressurize it. So again, we're going to figure out where our valve's going to go, which is over here, and then you got to just stretch this around the tire. Easy. And I'm going to make sure my valve is through this hole. Okay. We can bolt that on so I don't lose it. Now I'm just gonna roughly stuff this sucker in here. And when I go to blow it up, I'm going to do so slowly so it has a chance to sort of unfold. So I do intend to fill this up with windshield washer fluid to make it much heavier. But for right now, let's just go fill it up with air. Like I said, I want to fill this up very slowly to give that air tube a chance to unfold. And that ought to do it. Like I said, I'm going to fill them with antifreeze before I put them on my tractor, but for right now, let's call that a day.